There's this huge new force entering our workplaces, and it has some really profound implications for economic reconciliation. So this is your critical briefing on how to navigate the promise, the peril, and our role in making sure we get this right. Let's dive in.
So, what we're doing here is basically boiling down the key insights from an essential corporate training course. Module 8, to be exact. It's designed for specialists who are right at that tricky intersection of artificial intelligence and Indigenous relations. We're going to cut straight to the core stuff you absolutely need to know.
Okay, so first things first. Let's just get a quick baseline on what this technology actually is. Think of this as a rapid-fire primer, just to make sure we're all on the same page.
All right, at the very top, you've got artificial intelligence, or AI. The simplest way to think about it is as a big umbrella term for any computer system that can kind of mimic human intelligence to solve a problem or make a decision.
Now, tucked right under that big AI umbrella is machine learning, or ML. This is really the engine driving most of modern AI. Instead of someone programming a bunch of rules, ML systems just learn the rules themselves by churning through massive amounts of data to find patterns and then make predictions.
And then there's the one you're probably hearing about all the time, generative AI. These are the tools that are creating new, human-like stuff, summarizing reports, writing code, you name it. It's all based on the giant piles of data they were trained on. This is really where the action is right now.
Okay, so we've got the basics down. What's the big deal? What can this stuff actually do for us? Well, for anyone working in the reconciliation space, the potential for making things more efficient is it's enormous.
I mean, just imagine this for a second. You could synthesize hundreds of pages of dense regulations in minutes, or you could analyze thousands of historical documents to really understand treaty obligations almost instantly. AI can help you model environmental risks, keep track of your reconciliation action plan metrics in real time. It can even help map out who the key stakeholders are and what they're concerned about. Look, this isn't about replacing relationships. Not at all. It's about supercharging the hard work that actually supports them.
But, and this is a huge but, with all that promise comes a really profound ethical challenge. And this, right here, is where we have to put our focus. The conversation has to shift now from what AI can do to what it should do.
This is really the heart of the problem, isn't it? I mean, what happens when this incredibly powerful tool for finding patterns is fed a history that's just full of flawed patterns? What if it just gets really, really good at repeating our worst mistakes? You know, it all comes down to a classic, super simple idea in computing. Garbage in, garbage out. An AI model is just a mare. It only reflects the data it was trained on. It doesn't know what's right or wrong, it only knows the patterns it was shown. And this slide just lays it out perfectly. If you train an AI on decades of biased hiring data, guess what? It's going to learn to replicate that exact bias, actively working against your equity goals. So the takeaway here is critical. The quality of your output is 100% dependent on the quality of your input. But it actually gets even deeper than that. This leads us to an even more serious ethical problem, one that really gets to the heart of data ownership, control, and respect for Indigenous knowledge. So, to even start this conversation, we have to be grounded in the principle of Indigenous data sovereignty. This is the fundamental right of Indigenous nations to govern their own data, how it's collected, who owns it, and how it gets used. This isn't some new idea, but AI is making it more critical than ever before. Let's be absolutely crystal clear on this. Taking Indigenous data, whether it's traditional knowledge, consultation records, any of it, and just feeding it into a corporate AI to create value for the company, all without free, prior, and informed consent, well, that's just a modern form of extraction. It's a digital colonial act, period. So after all that, the problems, the risks, where do you fit in? Well, this is the most important part of this whole explainer. Your role is changing. You're not just an observer here, you are the solution. You have to become the ethical gatekeeper.
So what does that actually look like in practice? It means these 3 steps are they're non-negotiable. 1, any data sharing has to be covered by formal agreements that are aligned with free, prior, and informed consent. 2, those agreements have to give the nation explicit control, like a veto, over whether their data is used to train your AI. And 3, you have to budget for it. You have to support their capacity to actually monitor how their data is being used.
And if you ever need a reminder of what your job is in all of this quote from the source material it nails it. Your #1 job is to make sure this powerful new technology supports Indigenous self-determination and real partnership. It's not to just centralize more corporate power.
So we're left with this final thought. AI isn't some sci-fi concept anymore. It's here, right now, in the tools we use every day. The real question isn't if we're going to use it, but how. Is your company, and more importantly, are you, ready to step up and be its ethical gatekeeper?